Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video I am going to be doing my pits and peaks of the week for week 2. So in this video I talk about my pits for the week, which is basically what I struggled with and things I didn't do so well with this week, and then my peaks for the week, so what did go well, what I think I've done really well with this week. So we'll do pits first to get the bad stuff out of the way, and then we'll end on a high, which is the peaks. So we'll get straight into it. So my first pit for the week was that Philip usually works every other Sunday, which means that I do shopping on my own pretty much every Sunday unless he wants to come with me. And he decided to come with me this weekend because we were off for a long weekend. We had Monday off for his birthday. He came with me shopping at the weekend and he bought a load of snacks. I wasn't going to eat them all or any of them really, because I've been trying to stay on track as much as I can. So there was a cupboard that was with all my coffee and things like that that he had full of snacks, and that has been a real temptation this week. I haven't caved until I think Thursday, where I had one or two of the snacks, but other than that I've not touched them at all, and I kind of moved the stuff that I would usually go for in that cupboard to another cupboard so that it's been sort of out of sight, out of mind sort of thing. So yeah, that's been a pit for the week, just having that constant temptation around you all the time even though you're not eating it. That has really been a struggle this week. The next one would be that on Tuesday, it was the day after our meal. We had gone to the Turkish restaurant on Monday for Philip's birthday and the meal was delicious. I didn't have any sort of negative or guilty thoughts going into that meal. I had sort of restricted myself a bit for my breakfast and lunch leading up to the dinner so that I had some of those leftover calories, and as I would have mentioned in my previous pits and peaks of the week last week, I had saved quite a bit of calories that I hadn't eaten that I'd banked for that meal. So going into it I wasn't really sort of guilty or anything about that, and really just sort of enjoyed the meal as you will. It did fill me up quite a lot because I think I'm used to eating little amounts of food now, and smaller meals and things like that, and having such a huge meal with like 3 courses, yeah, it filled me up pretty much right at the beginning, so I had to sort of struggle on for the rest of it because obviously we paid for 3 courses, so it's not like I could not have the food, so I just had to sort of struggle to fit it in. The next day after that, on the Tuesday, I was so tired and so hungry pretty much all day, and that was like really a testing point for me as to whether I would just completely just go off the rails all day or whether I would be able to keep on track. Luckily I was able to keep on track. I was able to keep my calories under. I didn't have any snacks and things like that. I just sort of said, you're not hungry, it must just be an after effect of maybe a big meal or the fact that I'd ran that morning and maybe I was just hungrier from that. But I did manage to stay within my calories, so I guess that's sort of a pit and a peak. So that was that one. The final pit for the week was that I had already sort of banked calories during the week for the anticipation of the cake shop that we usually go to on a Saturday being open. They've been shut for like 2 weeks, so I haven't really had that sort of temptation of going to the cake shop, and they don't do sort of calories on any sort of menus or anything, so I'd banked some extra calories during the week. I'd probably had some left over from last week and I was sort of fine with having that cake. I made a rough estimate of what sort of calories might have been in it and put that in NutriCheck, and all was fine except for when it came to dinner and Philip decided that we were going to have barbecue that night, and you literally do not realise how many calories go into a barbecue if you're not properly tracking it. It was only when I'd entered everything that I was going to have that my meal came up to like 1200. I'll just check NutriCheck to see what it actually did come up with. Yeah, it came up with 1258, and that was basically for a burger, a sausage, I had like a kofta thing and a piece of chicken, and then a roll, sauces, cheese to go on burgers and things like that, and it all added up to like 1,258, and I was really surprised at that. And typically when I would usually have a barbecue, we would actually have more than that. We'd have chips and garlic bread and things like that, and we'd sort of go all out for a barbecue. So it really surprised me how many calories there are in food if you're not tracking it properly. So I did go over yesterday. That was an off-plan day. I have some banked calories from like previous days, so that sort of evens it out a bit, but it did make me feel a little bit guilty. We do have the rest of the like packets that we've got for tea tonight, but I am sort of going to restrict myself a bit more and have less things, less sauces, no cheese, things like that, just to sort of bring those calories down. Based on what I've tracked so far and what I've already had for my breakfast and my lunch, I am going to be under my calories today, so that's okay. And I sort of just learned from the experience and been able to deal with it better. So yeah, that's just been a pit, just having another off day that I hadn't planned. I was hoping to just have the one off plan day, which was the Monday, but I had two this week, so I'm going to have to sort of just take it in my stride and get back on track next week. We have no sort of off plan days next week, so all should be good. That is it for my pits for the week. Not that many this week, so I'm happy with that. We'll get on to the peaks next. So my first peak of the week was just literally getting back on track the next day. I know I said that I was tired and I was hungry pretty much all day, but I did get back on track pretty much straight away. After I'd finished the meal, I was like, yeah, that was really good, but now I'm ready to sort of get back on track. That's something that wouldn't have happened in the past. I really do feel like I've had a complete shift in mindset since I started this back at the 1st of August. And yeah, things are just going really well. I'm sort of in the right mindset now where I'm really being mindful of everything that I'm eating and the calories that are in things, and holding back if I need to hold back, and banking calories when I need to bank calories and things like that. So it's actually going really well so far. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I was able to get back on track pretty much straight away and just, yeah, continue as things were going previously. My next peak, which sort of ties in with the last one, was that I've been able to resist all the snacks this week, other than the Thursday, which I had a couple, but they were under my calories anyway. But yeah, I have completely managed to resist all snacks. I've moved things about, like I mentioned, just so that I don't have that temptation. I have that sort of out of sight, out of mind thing, and yeah, I'm really pleased that I'm able to stay away from snacks, and I haven't really had many snacks at all. Most of the days I'm still not snacking at all. It's only the days where I feel a little bit hungrier or where I'm having to wait a bit extra for dinner that I have a snack, but other than that I've not had any, so I'm quite happy with that. Yeah. The next one is that on Thursday I had a bit of a stressful situation where I drove Philip's car the previous day, and he's got a new car, he's got a Cooper S, and it goes when, like, as soon as you put the foot down on the accelerator. And I drove it to work on I think Tuesday, and then I thought about the fact that my speed was probably a bit too high for where I was driving, and I just had that sort of panic Wednesday, Thursday as to whether I was going to get a speeding ticket or not. Thankfully nothing has come through so far, but I know it can take up to 2 weeks. But in situations like that where I'm stressed out and I'm overthinking about things, I would tend to reach for food, and I haven't done that. I've managed to just keep myself relatively calm, and I'm still worried about it, but I'm not stress eating over it, which is something that is very big for me, or has been very big for me in the past. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the fact that I can sort of handle stressful situations better. I know it's only been 2 weeks and it's not a massive test that I've gone through, but still being able to sort of keep on track and things like that is really good for me. I think that's pretty much it for peaks. Basically, it's just been a week of resisting and evading temptations and stresses that would usually put me off track, and being more mindful and making plans to sort of deal with those situations, banking calories and things like that, and pulling back when I need to, or making amendments when I need to. So overall, it's been going really well this week. According to NutriCheck, I'm still in the green for 7 days. I will put a screenshot here, maybe, with my 7-day calorie week view so you can see. So as you'll be able to tell from the screenshot, I was off track on Monday and Saturday, but every other day I've been under my calories by about 200, 300. So that's really good, and I'm in the green for my total for the week. It isn't as much as last week, but I think I've probably done less exercise this week as well, other than my 10,000 steps. I have run, I think, twice this week, but I don't think I've gymmed this week, which is something that I want to pick up next week. But yeah, still being in the green and still being pretty much on track is as good as it can get. And yeah, like I said, I just think I've had a complete overhaul in my mindset, and I'm really sort of in this for the long run now. And yeah, I'm just excited for things to come. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm not really finding it a chore, or I'm not finding things too difficult. I'm not hungry all the time and things like that, despite eating less calories than I usually would. So yeah, it's going really well. I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I'm sort of looking forward to check in to see how things are going over, how it's been going over the month. Philip has mentioned to me on more than one occasion over the last 2 weeks or so that he has been noticing that I look smaller, if you will, and has asked whether I've lost weight. And obviously I don't weigh myself, so I don't know, and I won't know anything really until the end of August. But I guess that's a positive sign that someone else is noticing changes. I don't really notice any in myself yet, but the fact that he is noticing in the 2 weeks with the changes that I have been making is a positive, I guess. So yeah, it sort of got me looking forward to the end of August, where I can do my check-in and things like that and find out how I've actually done. But yeah, all in all, it's been really good so far, and yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about, so don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below and you will be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever it is that you are watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.